And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free bus.
Bill Maher just went all out on Zohran Mamdani, and the result is pure political theater. The late-night provocateur completely shredded the New York lawmakers' ultra-progressive agenda, even joking that Mamdani's victory might as well serve as a campaign ad for Republicans. Maher's takedown wasn't gentle. It was sharp, relentless, and brutally funny. Blink, and you'll miss the chaos. Seriously, grab the popcorn.
Most popular politician on the left.
AOC? I don't know.
One of, but who's Bernie? Bernie is
yeah.
Bernie is. I mean, he's not a capitalist.
No, he's not, and he's also not president.
He's not. But
and never would be.
But neither is Mamdani.
No, but he will. Trust me, he will be featured in the campaign commercials.
But they're going to feature people. They boogeyman everybody.
Yeah, but you don't have to boogeyman him. He does it to him.
And Maher isn't wrong. Republicans don't need to invent a scary caricature of Zohran Mamdani. He volunteers for the role every time he opens his mouth. With Mamdani eyeing a New York mayoral win, critics warn his rise could be a political jackpot for the GOP, a flashing neon sign that Democrats are drifting straight into ideological fantasy land. Mamdani insists he's just a democratic socialist, but that reassurance only works inside his own cheering section. Maher isn't buying it. To him, Mamdani embodies starry-eyed left-wing dreaming, the kind that sounds virtuous, but hands conservatives a perfectly gift-wrapped talking point.
It'd be horrible for a guy like you, who you spent your whole life talking about how government tries to do too much, which it does, and spends too much. And here you have Trump, who is the Republican, who is aggrandizing more power than anybody, as we just talked about. And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
At first glance, the pitch shines. It's all warm promises, lofty ideals, and magazine cover applause. But pull at the seams, and the fantasy unravels fast. Dreamers may swoon, but anyone who's seen socialist experiments collapse can't help but feel it's history's cold rerun, dressed up as hope and sold as progress.
Every 20 years or so.
Wait.
We need every 20 years or so, we need a conspicuous, confined experiment with socialism so we can crack it up again. Socialist slogan used to be, workers of the world unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains. The new socialist slogan is, trust us, this time it won't be.
Let's be honest. Socialism has face-planted so many times that most people treat it like a hot stove. Touch it once and you learn fast. Except, of course, the younger crowd, dazzled by shiny promises of fairness and free everything future. The problem isn't greed. It's human nature. People thrive on incentive, competition, and knowing their effort matters. Strip that away, flatten rewards, and the engine stalls. Bureaucracy explodes, waste creeps in, and systems built for equality rot into bitterness. History has screamed this lesson loud and clear. When government grabs the wheel for everything, the machine eventually buckles. Mamdani's proposals heavy on state control and giveaways might look noble on a flyer, but they wobble badly in reality. Take away freedom to trade, build and dream, and progress slows to a crawl. Everyone ends up equal all right, equally disappointed.
Post-war Labour government in Britain was about to get started. One of their leading lights was a socialist named Nurian Bevan. He said, what could go wrong? He said, we have a nation bedded on coal, surrounded by fish. It would take an organizational genius to have a shortage of either. In 3 years, they had a shortage.
Britain is a textbook warning. In the early 20th century, it leaned into socialist ideals, promising fairness, shared wealth, and a level playing field. It sounded humane. But as industries fell under state control, red tape smothered innovation. Productivity collapsed, prices surged, and the economy limped along. The equality they chased didn't lift people up. It dragged nearly everyone down. By the 1970s, Britain earned the nickname, the sick man of Europe. Only after Thatcher reintroduced market-driven reforms did the country start clawing its way back.
saying that we're going to make a sanctuary city for LGBTQIA plus New Yorkers, beyond saying that we're going to establish an office of LGBTQIA plus affairs, is also that we're going to provide $65 million in funding for gender affirming care, the same amount of funding that the federal government threatened to pull out from local providers for that kind of.
Maher worries Mamdani could become a political trap for Democrats, the kind that pushes the party straight out of the center and into electoral disaster. He knows that when Democrats drift too far left, they bleed moderates, the voters who actually decide elections. Many swung away as a backlash against progressive overreach, especially on cultural flashpoints like youth gender affirming care. Yet Mamdani seems eager to dive headfirst into that fire, reportedly backing major private fundraising tied to those very issues. For Democrats who value pragmatism over purity tests, this isn't bold, it's reckless. It hands Republicans a ready-made argument that the left has abandoned common sense and everyday concerns.
Attacked you personally and publicly like this.
He's not a socialist. He's a communist, okay? This is not a socialist, man. This is a communist.
I don't like to see a communist become mayor, I will tell you that.
I call him my little communist. He's my little communist mayor. We should never be in a position where we're talking about a communist.
We're going to end up with a communist mayor. It's not even believable, my beautiful New York. I think if a communist takes over New York City, I think that's a gift to the...
No sugarcoating needed. Mamdani doesn't need anyone turning him into a villain. He does that himself. He's floated ideas like government-run grocery stores and free citywide transit, a vision where the state controls daily life. He may call himself a democratic socialist, but his proposals follow the far-left playbook a little too closely for comfort. Noble intentions aside, it fits perfectly into the narrative that Democrats are inching toward full-blown socialism. If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, you know the rest.
Of democratic socialism. It's one that often comes back to what Martin Luther King said decades ago. A vision of, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism, there must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. Here in New York City, wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, 1 in 4 are in poverty. 500,000 kids go to sleep hungry every night. It's untenable to live with this kind of a divide. We have to actually have a politics.
Zoom in, and the pitch isn't new at all. It's a rerun. Lofty promises of fairness, shared prosperity, and equal opportunity, wrapped in poetic language and cherry-picked stats. History shows what comes next. Once the applause fades and power settles in, the romance cracks. Policies appear that punish achievement and smother enterprise. That's not what New York needs, and it's not what built America. The country thrived on the freedom to compete, invent, and chase opportunity, not micromanaged ambition and forced sameness. Betting against that formula has never ended well. Maher, jokes aside, sees the ending coming a mile away.
Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Well, it wasn't so much his aunt as his dad's cousin, but, semantics. Douglas, is he ready to lead?
No, in absolutely no way is he ready to lead, and that was just another reminder of it. This is such a self-involved little narcissist with so little.
And here's the playbook. Spin emotionally charged stories, polish them with virtue, and sell them as progress. It's an old trick, just better produced. For Democrats fluent in identity-driven storytelling, Mamdani is tailor-made, symbolic, sentimental, framed as the voice of the unheard. The machine will love him, but people who look past the soft lighting and poetic speeches see something else. They know storytelling isn't leadership. Mamdani's narrative may enchant idealists, but to pragmatists, it's stagecraft, elegant, emotional, and hollow where substance should be.
He decides to turn the memory of 9/11 and the 3,000 Americans that day into a story about his aunt and the subway. It's interesting, like so many things that this smarmy candidate does, He makes it about himself, and it all turns out to be untrue anyway. It seems to the extent that he had any such aunt in question, she wasn't in New York at the time, and in any case, didn't wear the head.
That warm origin story doesn't shine quite as bright under scrutiny. Still, in deep blue New York, allegiance often beats evidence. Mamdani may coast into office anyway. The real question isn't whether he wins. It's what happens when campaign poetry collides with the brutal reality of governing one of the most chaotic cities on earth. Slogans are easy. Running New York is. Watching Mamdani face that pressure will be revealing. His rise isn't a triumph of progress. It's a warning sign. Beneath the polished speeches and sugar-coated socialist dreams sits a philosophy history hasn't exactly applauded. Maher's alarm bells are ringing for a reason. If Mamdani takes New York down that road, the fallout won't stop at City Hall. It could reshape the Democratic brand itself.